So I want to address the topic of not fitting in and to finding or looking for a correct version of ourselves. And I know that some of you will be frustrated that I'm talking in English, not in Swedish, which is my mother tongue. But this just needs to come out in English, so I'm talking to you like this. But so my whole life I've been looking for trying to fitting in. I've been trying to fit the norm, to understand what rules to obey and go by, and how to take part in this world and being as normal as I can, and trying to really just express as best as I can, and trying to fit into any kind of mold that seems to be the right one. I've been looking for the right kind of mold all of my life. So, but now I'm starting to understand that maybe that is not my purpose at all, because that is not where my passion lies. So I'm addressing this because I really think that I am not the only one having this kind of issue, trying to fit in, or trying to at least not fit in a disruptive way for other people. And maybe we are perfect. Maybe we are vast. I really, really feel that we do have a powerful state of being that we can access. We can access a greatness and a grandness, a vastness. We can access a love and a wisdom and a knowledge. And we do that when we're not trying to fit in. We're not busy trying to fit in, trying not to be wrong, trying to obey some norms that our society or religion or political system or cultural or family has put up there. But what if we are not at all meant, any of us, to be there? We're not meant to be there any longer. We have been there. Maybe we were supposed to be there to try that one out. But now we've tried it, and we tried it for a very long time, and we've been really good at it. Some of us simply don't know any other way. And yet there are other people remembering, because there is a strong calling of the soul, of the heart, of the being, the innerness, that knows there is something else here. And I just need to find, how can I express that? How can I be that? How can that version take place in this world? And I think those of us that have that, instead of trying to fit in, stop trying to fit in. Start expressing what is really the greatness and the grandness and the vastness and the love and the compassion that is there. And I think many of us, well, we are bullied, or we are name called, or we have been shamed, or we have been blamed, or we have been any kind of something that has sort of been wrong, or sort of been, well, at least not right, that we need to adjust something or something with ourselves. But I'm here to, well, not make a riot out of things, but I'm here to remind us back into knowingness of, well, the grandness that is possible. And not only for like one individual or two or maybe 20 on this planet, but it's possible, the world, we can shift how we perceive the world. We can shift our position in the world. And we do that by stepping into another kind of consciousness, another kind of awareness. And we also shift this awareness, we shift it from our heart space, but we also shift it from the mindsets that we have. So are you willing to shift your mindset, not just have a set a fixed mind. Like, this is it. This is how things work. This is how I have to just obey and go by things. I just have to apply the world like this, and that's it. They will react like this. I will react like that, and that's what's there. What if that is not what's there? What if there's much more to everything? But if we have a growth mindset, we have the knowing that things are always changing. The only thing that is not changing is the fact that everything is changing. Everything is always changing. And you see that all around the world. And that's why it's so chaotic and turbulent, and people are afraid and worried, and things are happening. What's going on? What can we trust, and who can we trust, and what do we think, and what do we eat, and what kind of energy are we talking about, and what will happen with our safety and our economy and our living, our homes, what's going to happen. And we need to bring ourselves back into the space of heart, back home to ourselves, because that's where we have a compass in this very changing world. You have a compass. It's inside of you. That compass can really, really help you anchor when everything is turbulent and there's this great turmoil around you. You just anchor into your own heart space. And people think, well, where is that? How do I do that? That sounds airy-fairy, and just, what is this woman talking about? Well, you just simply come back home to your own body. Stop the mind thinking, chattering, babbling about different things, and judging. Is this good? Is this bad? Is this right? Is this wrong? Is this correct? What? So come back into your body. Come back into your body, because your body is in the now. It's in the moment. Your mind is always in the future or in the past. But your body is in the moment. And your body and the moment, that is where you have the opportunity to really experience calmness, to really experience your own wisdom and your own knowing, and to really receive the inner guidance that we all have access to. It's not for some few people that have access to some kind of intuitive something, and that's for them, but it's not for the rest. So what shall the rest of us do? We don't have that connection. But you do have that connection. We do have that connection, all of us. It just looks differently. Just like we all have a face, it just looks differently. We have a face, we have a body, it just looks differently, but we have that. It has similar functions, but maybe some of us have a greater eyesight. We can really see focused and sharp for very long, and some of us, well, we need the glasses, and some of us, we have, well, something, a way of picking up on what we see, that we see it more on the outskirts of our vision field than in the focus center. Well, who might know? And some of us, we have the greater senses, our taste or our smell or the touch or whatever. It doesn't mean we don't have access to senses and we don't have access to the intuition. It means that we just need to know where to find it. And you find it in your body, in your now. That's where it is. So when you stop yourself and just come back, land back home. I say that in Swedish. Just land into yourself. I think landing is a very great thing, because, and I speak about landing because, and maybe that's not even the word in English, but anyhow, because it's like we're out here flying around doing all these flying things, and we're away from ourselves, we're away from our home. But we need to land somewhere. And when we land into our heart, into the home, the heart and the now, that's where the home is. That's where we receive the blessings of the now. That's where we receive the knowing of the now. That's where we receive information about the now. So when we're starting to tune into the now, that's when we really connect into a greater part of ourselves. So going from this part of what I'm who am I, or what am I? Maybe I'm wrong. I need to fit into something, or I need to be someone else, or I need to express myself in a way that is acceptable for others, to others. Like, for example, I'm a healer, and I tried to find my way of being a healer in the accepted academical world. So I became a nurse and a midwife, for example, worked in the hospital, and until I was burned out because that system didn't fit me and my way of being. But so many people of us, we're trying to find an acceptable way of being and living, and we are doing that looking outside of ourselves. So we have been taught to look outside of ourselves and to look for answers over there or over there, or with that person, or this book, or that course, or something over there. But what if there is something enormous sitting here inside of us, wanting to be expressed? So I'm calling you back into remembering that there is something inside of us sitting here wanting to be expressed. And it doesn't want to be expressed through the mind only. It wants to just be who you are, what you are. Because from my mystical perception of things, how I have been shown it, well, there is only the one expressing as itself everywhere. So we are all expressions of the one experiencing itself. So when we step into that authentic space of being who I am, and the authentic version of what is going on right now, and just allowing ourselves to be love, and to be great and vast and expansive, to be transformational beings, then we are really just stepping into the source, into the one, experiencing life as the one. And this might be very far away from your normal everyday thinking. It doesn't mean that it doesn't need to be expressed and that you need to hear it, because it's still, on a mystical level, it's still a fact that there is a oneness. We are part of that oneness, and it expresses through each and every one uniquely. So you are not supposed to express yourself in any way that he or she or I or anyone does. You are supposed to express yourself the way that is truth for you, and that is your passion, and that feels where you feel alive, where you feel grateful, where you feel expanded. When you are in an expanded state, that's when you make things happen. You see solutions, you see possibilities. But when you're in a contracted state, where you are afraid or worried, or when you are judging or something, well, you're not able, in that state we are not able, anyone, it's not like just you and I'm free from that. We are all of that. We are all there when we are in an expanded state, or if we are in a contracted state of fear and worry, for example. We cannot see the solutions. We cannot see the possibilities. We maybe don't even see people as being friends. We see them as being enemies. Here comes someone that is a threat to me, or to my expression, or to my place, or to my home, or to my family. But from an expanded state, you perceive it differently, you see it differently. So instead of worrying of that you are being wrong, and that maybe you need to correct yourself, and maybe that you need to be some way different than you are, and that whatever you are might not be the right thing. Instead of doing that, start just noticing who is inside, not the mind babbling, but make an introspection and like really see, have this interceptic vision. I don't even know if that's a perfect word in English, but I'll use it. Introception would be the word in Swedish. But if you start using your ability to listen to your thoughts, to feel your feelings, because feelings and thoughts, they are just energetic movements going through your field. They are not the truth of who you are. And that's just a thought. It just comes up. You don't have to listen to it. You don't have to obey it in any way. You can just hear, okay, so that one is coming. But you don't have to believe it. Or you can choose a thought that is very helpful to you. And you can start believing that, because if that thought makes you feel expanded, makes you feel fantastic or loved or well or generous or abundant, that is a thought to really follow by. So when you start to following those thoughts that make you expand, and drop the thoughts that make you contract, you will see a shift. And also if you start nurturing feelings that of being expanded, of being loved, being generous, being beautiful, wanting to share, and being part of something good, and expecting the world to be good, expecting your place to be a safe place, expecting yourself to be a natural part of the beauty of the world, and everyone else as well. We are beautiful parts of the oneness, the world. We are. So we hold this greatness together. Whenever you step into that, then you are aligned with your own passion, your own power, your own possibilities. And you can feel it, and you can express it. Start expressing it through your body. Start expressing it through your body, and that means maybe dancing, maybe writing, maybe talking, or maybe acting on writing a letter or an email. Most of us write emails instead of letters. So what is expressing yourself? Well, that is whatever comes up to your authentic intention at the moment, from that expanded state. You have this expanded awareness, you want this, you have this vision or something. And instead of thinking, what will the other people say about it? What will happen if I express myself like that? And oh no, what if someone, or what if? Instead of being worried about the what if, just doing and see what will happen. Really, just see what will happen. So I'm here reminding you of stop worrying about whether you fit in or not, and start expressing from an expanded state of being, expressing from a greatness, from a love, from gratitude, and see what will happen in your life. Who will you turn up as in the world? What will the people start addressing you? What will happen? Because when we are authentic, when we are who we really are here to be, then things will shift for us. And the people around us, the right people, will find us and start to align with us, and start to feel connected and say, wow, we are similar, and let's connect and expand together. So instead of worrying of you not fitting in, or that you have to change yourself in this way or the other way, and trying to fit into some kind of a mold, because we have this, we have a mold for so many things in our lives, and we try to fit in ourselves into those molds. And we are settling. What if we cannot find the right kind of mold today? So you really want to have this beautiful mandala-shaped mold so that it can really express everything that you want to express at this moment. So you're looking for the mandala mold everywhere, among the molds, in the box where all the molds are. But you cannot find that. But okay, you find a star, and maybe that's good enough. And that's the best I can do for now. I cannot find the fantastic mandala mold, so I can choose between the star mold or the flower mold, or maybe the heart mold. Okay, so I'll just take one of them, that one maybe. And it's good, it's beautiful. But you are settling for a mold that is not what you wanted. You are settling for a mold that is not, well, the right one. So instead of settling for what is there on the outside of you and the outskirts of things, maybe you start actually expressing, and maybe you start inventing new molds that really fit you better. Maybe you start making new molds that fits the new version of you, that really fits the new world we all are stepping into. Because I'm here to remind us, we are all stepping into a new world, and we need new tools, we need new understandings, we need a bigger, higher vision and a mission and a greatness and a beauty to preserve the beauty of life, not just preserving our society and preserving things the way they have always been and trying to fit into what has always been. We're not here to fit into what has always been. We're here to be part of that beautiful expression and that change that is ongoing, and that will end up into something new. Change is happening, and it will end up in something new. So we are ending up in something new. And I really, really am here to remind you of the beauty of you, the power that you are. Try not to fit in anymore. Try to just express authentically and lovingly and caringly and with transformational wisdom, or whatever feels aligned with heart and expansion and love, the soul space of who you are. That is where we together all really start to properly shift what's going on. Our reality around us is shifting also by what we expect to be found in the reality. So remember, do you have a fixed mindset, or do you have a growth mindset? Do you go with the fact that everything is changing? So are you. So am I. We are changing. Or are you just settling down for, well, the almost right mold of yourself, expressing yourself through that almost right mold? I want to really, really express through a new mold, a new version, really make a new world. And I would really love it for us to do it together and to express together and to transform the world together. Because when we do things together, things really shift very rapidly. When we do things together, we make it a grand field. It's not just one or two individuals doing something. Two individuals becomes the sum of many more individuals, because we are very powerful, in our individual uniqueness added together with the other one's individual uniqueness will become something much vaster, much greater. So stop fitting in. Stop looking for how to fit in and start to find within your body. That's where you find it, within your body, within your being. That's where you are. You are here in the moment of now. You're not in the mind's version of what might happen or what has happened. Remember that. You're in the body. So bring your body, land into yourself, into your heart space, take a few breaths, take a few strokes. And if you're worried or if you have been stressed for some time, just shrug it, shake yourself like, wow, I just want to relieve myself, like, off with this. And just feel lighter and expand and express from there. So this was my first message in English to you guys, and I'm very grateful if you stayed on for all this time. And this is how I am showing up in the world, expressing myself nowadays, and finding my new mold, building my new mold. And I'm happy to, you can borrow it until you found your own. You could borrow my mold until you build your own. I'm here to just be a reminder of the beautiful, powerful essence that we all are part of. We are the one expressing itself. We are all the one expressing itself. So we are all expressions of the one. So don't try to fit in, because that's when you're trying to make the one express itself differently. It's not possible, really. It's just quite painful, and it's just a contraction of everything that is. So the sooner you bring yourself into your heart space, into your authentic version, the more interesting and beautiful life will show up. That's my belief. I really believe that. When we are the joyful, truthful, the authentic version, maybe it's not joyful all the time, but the authentic version, when we show up as the authentic versions of ourselves, that's when we really impact. We do a lot of impact here. So lots of blessings, lots of love to you, and well, enjoy your expression as yourself, your uniqueness. And I'm very grateful for sharing this space with you, and I'm very grateful for your presence on the planet. So thank you and namaste.